TIFU by obliterating my wife's fish. Happened last night. Wife's 8-year-old very large goldfish was passing away. Had dropsy. Was suffering. And was on the verge of death. Wife and I looked into the symptoms and there was practically no hope of him making a recovery. So she asked me to euthanize him. Looking into methods, it seemed pretty agreed upon that the most effective and quick way to euthanize a fish was blunt force trauma. Now, when I was a kid, my family were huge anglers, and I was designated as the fish killer when it was time to cook them. Back then, I was told to slam them on the ground as hard as I could. Well, my 8-year-old body wasn't strong enough to kill them instantaneously, so I had to do it multiple times. Honestly, it kind of fucked me up a little. Flash forward to last night. I didn't want that happening again and I wanted it to be painless. I asked my wife to leave the room because she was very upset, and I chose to do the deed by putting the fish in a plastic grocery bag and slamming it on the counter as hard as I possibly could. The poor fish was absolutely obliterated. The force ripped open the bag and sprayed bits of what used to be a goldfish in every direction. Told my wife to stay upstairs and she started getting suspicious, so she comes down after 5 minutes. And it's just everywhere still. On the counter. On the stove. On the fridge. On the freaking Christmas tree we still have up. I was still finding pieces of it this morning. Wife was aghast and traumatized. Cried until she went to bed. TLD, or I euthanized my wife's dying fish quickly but in the most visually traumatizing way possible. On the plus side, a piece of your beloved goldfish will live on with you forever. Or until the smell helps you to find it.
Task failed successfully.
Welp, it died a warrior's death. Good on ya, M8. To Valhalla friend, smashes the absolute fuck out of you. Yeah, I think you overcompensated for your youthful fish slamming failures. Don't worry, we've all been there. Pick out a Bob the Goldfish memorial plant at the nursery. Dig a hole in the backyard. Place Bob in hole. Immediately pulverize him with a blunt garden implement. Plant the plant in the newly fertilized hole. Bob will now live forever. Hey, at least you know it was fast. From the fish's viewpoint it was. Hey, I'm in a bag blank. It was you who suffered the crap moment. This is both sad and hilarious at the same time. Rest in pieces. Fish. Edit. Yes. Yes. Rest in Pisces. GIF. I didn't think of it at the time. And thank you for the awards. I didn't expect my silly comment to come this far. I made it. Mum. GIF. Brew. Why inside on the kitchen counter? Crying. If there's a next time, try clove oil. I've used it a few times and the fish don't seem concerned, they just slow and then stop like a cat or dog would during euthanasia. Much less traumatic. I think you're doing sushi wrong. You're a fucking idiot. We could probably be best friends because I'd do the same thing. Even after reading what happened to you, I'd be like, couldn't happen to me. On the bright side, you probably didn't prolong the suffering. Me. Having owned a fish. Looking into methods. It seemed pretty agreed upon that the most effective and quick way to euthanize a fish was. To myself. Clove oil. Blunt force trauma. No mouth face. You went Gollum on that goldfish. I can't be the only one who blatantly misinterpreted the title, right? I can't stop laughing. I'm sorry, I feel bad for your wife, but that is hilarious. That is hilarious and sad. I grew up in the country doing the same shit to rabbits that we'd shot but not killed. And learned how to rip birds' heads off from hunting dove. Probably messed me up a bit too. Fast forward about 10 years to college. Riding in a car with a girl going to veterinary school. As we're nearing the on-ramp to the highway, she sees a pigeon that was fucked up, flopping around on the side of the road and whatnot. She pulls over and puts the poor guy in her trunk to see if she could do anything. She couldn't. Bird was all broken up. So she and the other guy start talking about how to put it out of its misery. Their best idea was to set it under the car tire and run it over. I said I could just pop its head off. She said, "Really?" I said sure, and just picked it up and pop. Their jaws fucking dropped. They couldn't believe it. Thought I was terrible. And so on. They were cool after a bit. But it was definitely one of those moments when the brutality of my upbringing slammed headlong into the more sheltered sensibilities of my friends. Best way to conk a fish is with a good stick. Good spot at the top of the head. One solid whack and it's done for. On another note, I suggest fish tacos for supper tonight. You can tell her they were made with love. Genuinely one of the funniest stories I have ever read in my life. One of the only things that has ever made me truly laugh out loud. Very sorry for your wife's loss. But holy fuck. I can just picture myself in that exact situation. Hope she forgives you soon. Thank God you asked her to leave the room. Tears of joy.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.